Hello, you're listening to ReedyGeeks, a Walt Disney World podcast. My name is Andrew, and I'm joined today by the leader of the Wine Bar George hostile takeover investment group, Sean.
I'm not interested in taking over anything at Wine Bar George. I want to stay as far away from there as I can.
But you could expand the Raglan Road plot.
Yeah, a lot of people when they do hostile takeovers, they want to sell the pieces of it, right? You could sell the space to Raglan Road, sell the
immediate
off.
rebrand.
Sell George off.
Pawn George off to some other bar.
It's a lovely little place, greatly overhyped. That's all.
I hope George isn't a listener. I really do. And we're also joined by the sole member of the ReedyGeeks Writers Association of America, JJ.
Hey, sometimes people are on performance-enhancing dishes.
Menus. And we came up with menus.
Performance-enhancing menus. And they need to be called out for it.
Some call him the John Heyman of the podcast. Some.
If you have a good title for my co-host here, send in your ideas to reedygeeks@gmail.com. In today's episode, the Geeks get a little bit negative with revealing the Geeks' Myspace bottom 8 rides at Walt Disney World. This past March, we spent a lot of time celebrating the best of Walt Disney World restaurants. Our Mouse Madness tournament had us crowning a champion as the best sit-down restaurant, all while praising 63 other restaurants' great meals, atmosphere, and entertainment. But as much as we love Disney, no place this big gets everything right. And after weeks of positivity, for the month of April, we're flipping the script. All month long, the Geeks are leaning into the complaints, the frustrations, and the things at Disney that just don't quite live up to the magic. Not because we hate Disney, quite the opposite actually. You only really get to nitpick the things you love. And we're kicking things off with a familiar format, taking our Myspace top 8, except this time doing the bottom 8. Today we're putting together our Myspace bottom 8 rides at Walt Disney World. The attractions that make us groan when we see the wait times, question why they still exist, or just quietly walk past them on our way to something better.
Well said. Well said. This is a little bit of a twist. Don't worry, we're not going to go full negative. We're still the Geeks. I think we love Disney too much to be fully negative. But we'll call some things out.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Okay, guys, before we get into the episode, I just wanted to make a little general announcement. As a lot of people know, 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts are kind of the lifeblood of a podcast, and the Geeks need your help. We actually wanted to incentivize a little more action on our Apple Podcast reviews. So, starting today, we're actually going to give out a ReedyGeek dad hat to one lucky reviewer every month. And to show that we are geeks of our word, we're actually going to start off by giving one hat to one of the people that have already left a review. The winner is Zodiac John, who I believe is John from Florida. So John from Florida, hit up the Geeks and we'll figure out how to send you a hat. Congratulations. In the future, we're going to announce the winners on Instagram at the beginning of every month. So if there's only one review, congratulations, you got a hat. But if there's 10, you got a 1 in 10 chance of winning a hat. So that's pretty good. So keep an eye out on our Instagram page to check and make sure that your review is the winner, and make sure to reach out to us so we can get you a hat in the future.
Wait a minute. I love that idea.
All right, guys, so let's start with our honorable mentions. If you don't mind, I'm going to take the first one.
You mean a dishonorable mention?
Oh, yes, dishonorable mention, yes. These are positive. It's so hard to not be positive, right?
That's right.
That's not true.
What do they say about the muscles in a smile? It's so much more. It's a frown. So much harder. So much more work to frown.
It's so easy to be negative.
Sean right now has the biggest frown I've ever seen him have. My honorable mention is going to be the Walt Disney World Railroad at Magic Kingdom. The reason I picked this dishonorable mention is because it does exist also at Disneyland, which it is much, much better. And other than a form of transportation, that's the only thing this is good for. And for the next probably 5 to 6 years, it won't even really be good for that, even as they're building Villains Land. It can't even go all around the Magic Kingdom. And for the last couple of years before Tron opened, it was shut down while Tron was being built. So this really is just an attraction that's hardly ever open. You see nothing as you go around. It's just you're facing forward, and it's just a train ride. And yes, it's a nice train ride. But if they were to make it an attraction, there should be show scenes. There should be something different for you to look at other than just trees and occasionally inside of Splash Mountain.
Yeah, I kind of agree. To me, it served too much of a purpose to actually put on my bottom 8 list, because when it is open, it can take you around. So there's some redeeming quality about it.
I think there's something very nice about something that, kind of like the way I feel about the People Mover. It just gives you a nice view of a couple things, and it brings you around without having to walk or run, or it kind of makes you a part of a couple different lands at once, a couple different things at once. But again, that is when it's running. So it's hard to love this as a ride, because I don't even think it's a ride. It exists, and I think that it would be a lot easier for them to just officially suspend its operation and maybe turn the train into something like a photo opportunity, or do something with it. But I don't know. It never really seems like the most practical use of your time.
Disneyland has show scenes on theirs.
Yeah, they have like animatronics around the tracks. Yeah,
huh.
Yeah. They do a great job in Disneyland with the railroad. Like, why not put little vignettes in places, just little scenes to give it some life while you're going in between these lands?
It just seems like it was a complete afterthought by Magic Kingdom. Yeah.
Well, now it feels that way. I think it served a really great purpose set decades ago.
A good purpose, but it was a terrible as an attraction. And it is listed as an attraction. It wasn't like an e-ticket attraction, but, they could have at least plussed it up a little bit so it wasn't just a train ride. Yeah. Sean, that was a good idea of like making it like some type of photo op, or I wonder if they did this during COVID, made it like a cavalcade. Like what if, it pulled into the
what
station
if the characters
with
just rolled around the park on a train?
That'd be fun.
That would be fun, yeah.
Yeah.
My dishonorable mention is a defunct attraction, also in Magic Kingdom, the Enchanted Tiki Room under new management. This was possibly the beginning of inserting IP needlessly into attractions, and also maybe the beginning of Michael Eisner's let's throw a star in here and that'll fix everything. Maybe the beginning of the end for that specific aspect of Eisnering up attractions. Like, this one just doesn't work.
I feel like he didn't have a beginning nor an end to that portion of his life. That he was just always putting stars in there. It's a continuous circle of stars going in and out of these attractions.
Yeah, in this case, the stars are his star birds from his movies. So he inserted Iago and Zazu into the Tiki Room. And, they tried, but
they were like rude.
Yes, they were. They were like making fun of they're making fun of the old show.
Well, aren't the characters are rude birds? Aren't they?
Zazu's not. I mean, Iago is the bad guy's sidekick, so maybe.
I feel like Zazu is just like, he's a little diva. He's constantly put off by something.
It's so true. Not yet.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't like the Tiki Room. The Tiki Room, full disclosure, the reason things are on honorable mentions is because they didn't quite make the full list. The Tiki Room, actually, no, I don't. I think I took it off. Maybe. I don't know. I don't like the Tiki Room in general. I think the Tiki Room is one of those things where, like, when people like express a deep love for the Tiki Room, I kind of side eye it a little bit. Like, Disney's not listening here. You don't have to pretend to like this. There's nothing entertaining or redeeming about that attraction, aside from the fact that you get to sit in the air conditioning for like 40 minutes while a couple puppets scream and yap at you.
So, where else can you take a nap in Magic Kingdom?
At the
this
Hall
is
of
a very
Presidents.
important. This is a very important
email
attraction.
from Diane Disney.
So yeah, Tiki Room. I could take or leave any iteration of the Tiki Room.
And we are no longer invited to the Disney Family Museum. Thanks, Sean.
That's okay. My dishonorable mention is quite possibly the most dishonorable attraction in all of Walt Disney World, and that is Frozen Ever After.
Oh, man.
I'm not kidding. Anyone who's listened to this podcast knows my feelings for this attraction. I like the Frozen franchise. I think the first movie was good. The second one mostly stinks, but it's so good that even a bad Frozen is probably better than a lot of other animated stuff that's coming out these days. It is the laziest thing Disney has ever done. It was a knee-jerk reaction to financially capitalize on Frozen because they didn't want to wait like a year or two for a park land to be built. So they slapped some new decorations on in Norway, put a couple animatronics up in Maelstrom, used the same ride track. Oh, at some point, we're just going to go backwards. We're not going to explain why, but we're just going to go backwards. It's the laziest thing I've ever experienced in Disney World. And I love Maelstrom. I'm a Maelstrom defender till my last breath. But for something that was so iconic and huge as Frozen was for, I think, that time in Disney, it is the laziest piece of engineering I have ever, I think, experienced in the parks. And it's one of my least favorite things in all of Walt Disney World.
I fully agree that it's not worth the 90-minute waits that it gets, but I don't think on paper it's a bad attraction.
It's a terrible attraction.
And if you put your thumb on the scale a little harder, it would have ended up at the bottom of the list. If you put it at like
a little higher up,
if you put it at like number 3 on your list, it would have just been brute force. Your points would have just put it on the list.
No, because
like
then
8.
I would have to listen to JJ talk about the new faces, and I can't deal with it.
But they are going to be better. And Sean, you go backwards because Elsa is throwing you out of her ice palace.
I don't think that she's doing that.
Yeah, which is weird to begin with anyway, she's doing that.
I don't think she's doing that. I just think that they were
she's
like,
not being a good host.
How do we explain this part of the ride? We don't. We just play Let It Go, and people will forget what's happening. Bad ride.
I do kind of get that it is a little bit lazy. It came 3 years after Frozen the movie.
And it came 3 years before Frozen 2, which makes you wonder, did Disney have faith in the franchise to wait a couple years to build a land or build an extension of somewhere? Because Frozen 2 was 19, this ride was 16, and the movie was 13. So, is that a sign that maybe they're like, we don't necessarily want to invest in Frozen, but we need something in the park?
I think it was just too undeniable, and I think they wanted to make
too good.
It was just too good.
It's exactly.
Which I agree. I really like Frozen, and I don't mean to come down on the franchise, but I think the ride stinks. Capital S, capital S.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay, guys, let's get right into the list. At number 8, we have the Astro Orbiter at Magic Kingdom. Now, this is one I didn't vote for.
Mm-hmm.
I don't actually hate this one. I actually think it might be the best of the very repetitive spinner attraction. I think it might be the strongest one of those because guys, you know me. I'm an aerial view
I
connoisseur.
was gonna say this has a very specific good point, and is that if
Yes.
you're on it on a nice clear day, it's a wonderful view. I'm gonna
Yeah.
ask you, JJ, when's the last time you rode this attraction?
Over a decade ago.
It is one of the most uncomfortable ride experiences I've ever had, and I was a good amount of weight less the last time I rode it, and I could barely sit in the damn thing. And it's a cool concept. It also is if there's even a bit of weather, it's closed. So it's reliability. It's very unreliable, which means that when it is open, it actually tends to have long wait times. And for a ride like that, it's super not worth it. But the aerial view is cool. But it's mostly a nothing for me.
It doesn't even go up anymore. The
up and down.
Yeah. Like you can't. It doesn't go to its height, its maximum height. It was just refurbished, and one of the parts, like the major part that brings it up, broke. So now it does spin, but it doesn't go all the way up as to where it's supposed to go. Well, so yeah.
Boo.
Doesn't
I know.
sound
And
good.
when's the next time that's going to be refurbished? Like, probably never. That'll probably be the Yeti of Astro Orbiter.
I remember when the ride used to go up high.
The only thing the Astro Orbiter I think has going forward in that respect is that there's really I don't want to say there's nothing. I would never say what Imagineers can't think of, but there's really nothing that can go in its place. So like it's really I feel like it's not in danger of getting closed for a replacement, because you can really only do they can really only overlay it to something different themed. They can't put a whole new ride there. They can just put new cars or new ride vehicles that do the same thing.
And you're
so
not
it
taking
doesn't
down
really,
that building.
Yeah, it doesn't really exactly. It doesn't really feel like it's in any danger. So I guess who cares? But not a ride I'm running for.
Unless it becomes the rooftop lounge
Ooh.
in Tomorrowland.
DVC's new rooftop
No,
lounge.
not DVC. For the people.
You shill. Regular people can have fun in Disney World too.
I think I'll take one of those newfangled trolleys down to the drugstore soda fountain and meet the boys for a cold sarsaparilla.
So for number 7, we have Rafiki's Wildlife Express. I forgot this made it. This might have been my honorable mention, but it actually made it. Was it just with me? Was it my brute force?
No,
You
we
put it
both
too?
did.
Oh, we both voted
2 of the
for it.
3 of us had this on our list.
I
Okay,
guess this is not
okay.
something I even considered a ride, but I guess it counts.
Okay, it's listed as a ride in Animal Kingdom that has like 5 rides, and this is one of them. It's
Yes.
ridiculous.
Yes. And you, when you sit on the train, you sit facing the side like you do in the Disneyland train, like the Disneyland train that goes around Disneyland. You sit in the side, so you think you're going to see some show scenes, but there is nothing. In fact, one of the parts is like a parking lot, and it's just backstage buildings, and it's like, this is not magical at all.
Yeah.
I don't understand why we're facing in this direction. Like they couldn't do anything like to put out there.
Also, at the Bronx Zoo, there is a train where you sit like that and you go around and you're overlooking animal exhibits. We're in Animal Kingdom. Why are we not looking at animals while we're on this train that's forcing us to look in one direction?
Yeah. It is surprising. It is surprising. Maybe because it's a real train. Is that Bronx Zoo train a real train? Like, would this disturb animal habitat?
I mean, it's a monorail, so it's quieter.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's also just so few animals in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, but it would be cool if it like went by the savannah or something like that. I don't know. I'd have to look at a map of Animal
It's
Kingdom.
pretty
to see if
close.
Is it pretty close? Yeah.
I'd imagine. Look, I mean, it's in Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in Africa. You're already looking in that direction towards the savannah.
Well, there's going to be a lot more people taking the Rafiki Wildlife Express next year. When,
for Bluey.
for Bluey. Yeah, Bluey's going to be at that conservation station.
All right. Our number 6 attraction on the list is in Toy Story Land in Disney's Hollywood Studios, and it's the Alien Swirling Saucers. My gripe with this ride is that in a land that is so heavily themed for kids and families, this is one of 2 new attractions, and it is just so plain and boring. The only thing is that it's themed for the aliens. It's a pretty big ripoff of the Spinning Teacups, and I just think the kids deserve better. This is a bad, boring ride, and it often has a pretty lengthy wait because, again, it's one of 2 actual rides in Toy Story Land that didn't pre-exist. And I just think this was another kind of lazy slap some new paint on an old idea and just dump it in Toy Story Land. No real thought was done here.
See, I don't quite understand all of the hate. I do get that it's not a great ride, but it's not trying to be an elite ride at all. Like, it's just the filler attraction of that area. But I will agree that the line, it should never be more than 20 minutes wait for that. And it is routinely 30 minutes, 40 minutes. But that's because it's a lightning lane attraction that it just should not be a lightning lane attraction. So that's just like adding wait time for people. I think it's adding at least 10 minutes to the wait of the ride that they have to cater lightning lane people constantly.
Mm-hmm. I think that the concept of this ride system is interesting, but I don't think it has a really good rewritability. I don't really like the whipping action. I don't think it does much. It's too slow to really make any to make it feel like anything. But again, like, we're not the target audience for this ride. JJ, since you are our resident Disneyland expert, in DCA, isn't there a similar ride with the same ride system?
Yes, and there's also one in Tokyo.
Oh, okay.
So Mater's in DCA is a similar ride, is the same ride system, and then Tokyo, and this one gets a crazy wait, over an hour wait, because they it's Baymax's ride, and it's like they play like fun music, and they're like the people that are working the ride are like dancing and stuff. Like, it's a whole show.
Yeah,
it happens all around
cool.
it, and it's like wildly popular.
Yeah, for like reasons that we just probably would not understand.
Right.
Yeah. So I agree. I put it on my list too, because I do think, like Sean said, it's a little lazy. I get that the ride system is like cool. You're switching to different like tracks, and it's like it looks like you're almost going to hit each other, but then you never do. Okay, but like you do that once, and that's it. Like now I know what's going on. That's it.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, again, and this is not the first time, we won't spoil anything, this is not the first time this kind of conversation is going to come up in this episode, but this is a kid's ride. Kids do not care about the things that we're talking about, which is why I said, I kind of feel a little bad harping so heavily on something that is very obviously a children's ride. But I think it's a ride, and it's a bad ride, so I think we can talk about it.
Well, we
Fair.
are.
Fair enough. Okay, so before we get to number 5, I would like to say that this is where the actually bad rides are happening. Like, this is
so
like,
are those just more dishonorable mentions?
We're like now in fairly consensus. Like, there's a decent amount of points now, like our aggregate scores. Like, now we're getting at ones that hit all 3 of our lists. So we're entering. This is consensus. All 3 of us think this is a bad ride.
Yeah.
I mean, we may have different reasons for it, but these 5 rides are on our bottom for a reason.
They all need to change or be destroyed and all salt earthed.
We're not. I don't know if we need to salt the earth, but yes. Okay, so at number 5, we're in Animal Kingdom in Asia at Kali River Rapids. So, on paper, this is a ride that I would only ride when it's very hot out and I knew I had the right footwear and or maybe a change of shirt, because you get so wet on this ride that you want to change, and it could ruin your whole day if your shoes and socks get wet, and this will make your shoes and socks wet.
Yeah. I can every now and then I'll grumble and complain after getting off like Tiana, where I got a little more wet than I wanted to, but usually within 20 to 30 minutes, you're fine. You're good to go. If you're Andrew, you've got everything you're wearing is moisture wicking, so it doesn't really matter.
You've got moisture wicking shoes.
When we were planning this offline, I said I forgot this ride even existed. So that has to say something. In a park that we constantly say has no rides, I forgot this ride existed. And I struggle with why rides like this exist in a non-water park environment. I think a ride like this would do numbers at a water park, but like I'm specifically, I don't care how good the ride is. I don't even know what the theme is, but I don't care how good the ride is. I'm not interested in riding something that's going to drench me from head to toe, even when it's 90 degrees out in July. I don't think these kinds of rides are ever good additions to a theme park that doesn't also have other heavy water attractions.
Like a water section to a theme park.
So this is such a weird addition. This is such a weird ride to have in Animal Kingdom, even if it's properly themed. Again, I have no idea what the ride story is, but yeah, I'm not remotely interested in finding out because I don't want to have to run back to my hotel and completely change and come back.
Yeah. This was supposed to, this is also like the B version of this attraction, because originally the concept was that it was going to take you where you could see the tigers. So you're supposed to be on this raft and you're supposed to go past the tiger exhibit and stuff. It just isn't what it's supposed to be. And it takes up a ton of room.
Yes, it takes up a lot of space. And I think one of the themes of it is supposed to be like deforestation.
Correct.
There's this insanely, this spot that you get insanely hot because they have like this huge fire, which if you're in the summer and it's already hot and then you're getting, and it's like, why? And I also don't like how it's very inconsistent. Sometimes you go on this ride and you get soaked, and sometimes you go on this ride and you get bare nothing. You come off like, completely dry.
There's usually like one part of the raft that gets the heavy dump on it when it's under a certain part of the waterfall or hits a certain part of the ramp.
And it's like they tried to make this type of ride, but they didn't want to make it scary enough. So it's actually kind of boring as you're going down. Like there's only like one or two like little droppy things. And I was thinking about a similar ride to this in Islands of Adventure, Popeyes. Now that ride, there is no chance that you are coming off of that not completely soaked, like that you need to buy all new clothes. And And if I knew going into it that that's what I was getting into, then like, okay, I chose that. But like, with this, it's like, well, it's I'm risking, 50-50 chance of getting wet and being bored. Like, why would I want to do that?
So one of two things could happen. It's a lose-lose situation.
Yes.
Sounds terrible. Bad ride.
All right. For number 4, we have an attraction that should not come as a surprise to anyone who listens to this podcast, Mission Space. We are 3 avid Mission Space haters. We really think that the attraction is way dated, pointless, and needs to go. Maybe, the idea of a centrifuge type of ride vehicle was appealing in the early 2000s, but it's just, it's not now. And they should really get rid of it and do something at least a little bit more creative.
Yeah. And, we are, like Andrew said, we're 3 Mission Space haters. And keep in mind, there's 3 rides ahead of it on this list. So we have some opinions.
I mean, I will say it was a great concept, but like, it's 20 years old. They haven't touched it. I'm done. I'm just so done with it.
I think it's
like,
only
it's
purpose.
Video game graphics, and you're looking. It's You get claustrophobic in it, even if you're not someone that gets dizzy. People who get dizzy are going to get dizzy. People who don't get dizzy might experience claustrophobia. It just doesn't do enough to justify its existence.
Yeah, I think one of the only reasons it's still there is because it's just another attraction that people will wait online for. And in Epcot, when you have a lot of these newer rides that command long lines, it's good to have some sort of crowd control, maybe over in that area of the park. You know, people are still going to waste time riding that ride, so it serves some function.
Yeah, that's true. I love how, JJ, you can't just be flatly negative. You have to start everything with, you like do a positive sandwich, right? You got the positive bread with the negative meat, and then you end with another positive piece of bread.
This is a bad ride.
It is a bad.
Very bad ride.
It's a dated ride too. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole and like the idea that you're almost gonna fall off the cliff and die, and then of course you get saved at the last minute. The fact that the buttons don't mean anything, like, you know, they want you to press these buttons, but like, you know, this is pre
Millennium Falcon.
Thank you.
Yeah, Smuggler's Run.
This is pre-Millennium Smuggler's Run, right? So even Smuggler's Run, it barely means that much, but this, it literally means absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, I would recommend, if you're someone that is thinking they might get nauseous, I'd recommend don't even bother pushing the button. Just look, keep looking dead ahead.
Yeah.
Please remain seated throughout your voyage, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the boat.
For number 3 on the list, a worthy addition to the list. Journey into your imagination with Figment. This could be number 1. This is an absolute abomination of a ride. I don't think that's even too strong of a word.
Here's the thing. Everybody loves Figment. It's so bad it almost becomes good again. But it's so bad. Like, it's one of those rides you can prank someone with. Like, you can take them on and then you can kind of laugh at them. Like, being like, you can kind of pump this ride up a little bit and then be like, and then kind of laugh about it.
No, then they'll like it and you have to leave your friend alone. I can't be your friend anymore.
Andrew and I heard Tony Baxter speak about this, and he is preemptively rolling in his grave over the atrocity that happened to his beloved Figment. He hates this version of this ride.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. This is complete personal bias. I'm not, I guess, an old enough Epcot head to even care about Figment, so I don't get it. I don't get the hype. I don't get the massive cult appeal of it. I think this ride and this IP can just go away, and I would for after a little while I'd forget it even existed.
Wow.
Truthfully.
Wow.
Yeah. Not a Figment
crazy.
guy.
So I do like Figment, and they had to bring him back because of just so much hate towards the previous one of not having Figment. But they just did not do any service to the character at all. And like half the times the gags don't work, and it just doesn't make sense. Like sometimes like you're in the room with the looking at the eye doctor chart. Is that supposed to do anything? Is it supposed to? I don't know. I'm like, where are we looking? Where are we supposed to be? And then all of a sudden, everything is upside down. Everything is on the ceiling, and then so that's supposed to be great. No, that's anxiety.
Also, when you're looking at this stuff, like so many of those Figments aren't animatronics; they're just statues.
Right?
Yes.
It's like, okay, like the most low budget version of a ride, like it's almost not even Disney quality of an attraction.
Yeah,
because of all of the use of statues and not animatronics.
Yeah.
And the use of like 2000s projector screens.
Oh man, yeah, it needs to be redone. And I thought that it was going to be remade or refurbished in this latest Epcot refurbishment that happened during COVID, but they did not get to it. It wasn't even planned.
No, they didn't say anything. But every once in a while, they did show like last year, like a teaser video of Figment walking into the Imagineering headquarters, and people were like, "Does this mean what we think it means?" and
No.
we've heard nothing. They're just going to keep giving us just enough Figment so we don't complain.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, which is very annoying. And they're trying to give us hope. And hope in this situation is the worst thing that you can have. Because they're not going to do anything with it. It's over. It's totally over. Maybe once we stop buying the plushes and we stop,
Well,
loving
then it's just going to become Inside Out.
Yes, that's true.
What is that's like?
true.
You keep telling, you kept telling Knicks fans to stop going to games, and maybe Dolan will sell the team, and that never ended up happening. But hey, the Knicks are good again, so maybe if you just stop pretending to like Figment, maybe they'll do something about it.
Well, so here's the thing is like if you just continue to buy all the Figment stuff, they're going to think, oh, they're buying it because they love the ride. The ride is great.
Right.
We should keep the ride.
So you just got to stop.
yeah.
You got to
But then
leave
they're
the
going to
whole
be like,
thing
oh,
alone.
no, it's because they hate Figment. We need Inside Out.
Yeah, that's
That would be
exactly
better.
what's going to happen. It's a double-edged sword.
Way better.
No, they should bring back the Dreamfinder. That would be great.
Absolutely.
An original character. You could be a roaming character. That would be great.
Okay, that brings us to number 2 on our MySpace bottom 8, Aladdin's Magic Carpets in Magic Kingdom. I have a hard time understanding why this ride exists in the park that it is in, because Astro Orbiters is there, and there's 2 Dumbos there.
Yes.
But we have another ride that does the same exact thing. Like, it makes no sense that it exists. It is a horrible excuse for an IP that is one of Disney's strongest IPs in Aladdin.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing it has is a spinner ride that, quite frankly, I could see it having its place if it was in Epcot, if it was like in Morocco or something. And you're just like, okay, we just need to put a little filler ride somewhere over here so that a kid can go ride a ride while dad has a Moroccan mule,
Yeah, it would work there, and Aladdin should be in Adventureland. I think that's a great idea.
It fits, yes, that fits.
It fits. But also the placement of where they put it, it doesn't work in the walkways. It makes like 3 choke points.
Yeah.
Everything is just so much more crowded in that section now. It really, that's the main reason why I hate it, is that it's redundant as a ride vehicle, and it's in a terrible spot.
Yeah, I don't disagree about the place. It just kind of feels like they just kind of dropped the ride in the middle of an open area and kind of really cared nothing about where it landed. It is a very inconvenient place, but I don't know, something I've mentioned this before. Something feels weird about the second worst ride in all of Walt Disney World just being a ride that is so obviously a kid's ride. Like, the 3 of us are, unless we're riding this with children we're going there with. The 3 of us are, and even then, maybe we're not. But, like, we're never riding this ride. Where we're getting frustrated at how weird and uncomfortable it is to walk around it because of the stroller parking, and everyone is stopping to take pictures of their kids as they go by. And then on the other side of it, you've got the Dole Whip line that's really long, and it's like, how do I get around this area? But I don't know. For a kid, I think Disney World still needs kids rides.
Oh,
so,
of course.
Yeah, we kept a lot of them.
Well, right.
There's a lot of them that aren't on this list.
I felt there should at least be a criteria where
disclaimer.
Like, this is so obviously a kid's ride. We're just not gonna touch it. But
it's fair.
And one of my complaints actually about it is that they didn't build enough queue space, so the queue does come out into
it just
the
spills out into the
right, which shows just also how popular it is. Like, kids really do like this,
right?
And if we are going to be fair, it does have one thing over Dumbo, and that's that you can tilt.
You can control
up and. You can control Dumbo going up and down, but this you can also control tilting. Because you're on a carpet, it can go like that. So that's the only difference between the Dumbo but the Dumbo area, like the Dumbo makes an experience that there's a whole play area in there, and then you're not actually waiting on a line. You're on a line, but it's like when they're ready for you, they'll call you. I think that makes Dumbo a lot better. And and it's the original. It's the OG.
Well, that's progress for you.
So for our number one worst ride in Walt Disney World, we have the Tomorrowland Speedway. And I'm going to be a little bit of a JJ here. I'm going to put on my JJ cap and mention that there is something positive about this. What's positive is that it's 30% shorter than it was when it originally opened in 1971. That's the positive of the Tomorrowland Speedway. They had to cut into the track every time they wanted to build something like Tron or the Storybook Circus. They had to cut into that. So it's not as big as it was. But this is just a huge footprint in some really, really like good real estate in Magic Kingdom. And it smells terrible. It is it's not fun. Like you're on a track. You're not actually like get to drive anywhere.
You're not accelerating or decelerating.
No, and it's really a big nothing. And I think it could go away. It could just be blown up.
What photos or stories does the Tomorrowland Speedway have on the Disney company?
It's a lot better than me saying it's not a high capacity ride.
It is the absolute most confounding thing to still exist in the Magic Kingdom. It's like, what could you put there?
Anything.
What could you replace in that real estate? I've never even seen, like we just said, I don't want to dump on kids rides. I don't even think I've ever seen a kid having fun on this ride. It's just it's the most boring nothing of a ride that was maybe cool 50 years ago.
Yeah. Well, and so that was the idea, is that it was kids driving for the first time, but it wasn't on a track initially. Like they were like free. It was almost like go-karts, And so when you put it on a track and then you can't really steer, like there's no point in really having.
Yeah, I do want to amend that. You can steer. I mean, eventually the track is going to steer for you. But like you do have the capability to turn the wheel, and you can and
then get jerked back.
You can hit the accelerator up to, I think, 6 miles an hour.
Ooh,
so
boy,
I want to apologize for speaking out of turn there. You can travel up to 6 miles per hour on the Tomorrowland Speedway if that's your thing.
But
if you're a
JJ, what would you put there instead?
I mean, you could put anything there. It's a huge plot of land.
Yes.
Like you could put
its footprint is huge.
You could put a huge trackless dark ride that would be the anchor of Fantasyland and supersede Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and be like, this is the e-ticket of Fantasyland. Mm-hmm. It's a huge footprint. Like you're talking about, there is room there. I mean, there's room there to do the Cars thing. You could have put that Cars ride. You could have replaced one car ride with another car ride.
You could put Tron and another ride there.
Yeah, it's a huge plot. It's tremendous.
Maybe not the size of where Cars Land is going to be, but it is pretty darn close. It is pretty close. I think you might be able to put all of original Fantasyland there.
I bet you could put Pirates, the show building of Pirates, in that spot. That's a huge long ride.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean the show buildings of all of Fantasyland. That's way too big. But yeah, the show building of Pirates can go there. Yeah, definitely.
Right. So that's like, so think about that. Like, isn't that a much better use of spaces to have? Maybe like you put a Shanghai Pirates, I don't know what a Fantasyland or a Tomorrowland Shanghai Pirates could be. But I guess Tomorrowland, maybe at Tomorrowland you do something
AI
else.
Pirates.
Cyber Pirates.
Guys, what else is in Magic Kingdom that is maybe almost the same size, if not a little bit bigger of a footprint than Tomorrowland Speedway. What do you think?
Do you have an answer?
One single ride that is bigger than that.
Bigger than that? Bigger than Tomorrowland Speedway?
Yep. It
Oh,
looks
Space Mountain?
Not Space Mountain.
Tiana?
Not Tiana.
Jungle Cruise?
Jungle Cruise.
Yeah.
Is
It's a
bigger
big plot.
bigger real estate?
It's bigger real estate.
That's a big plot.
Yeah. They're close in size, but it looks like Jungle Cruise is bigger. Wow. I mean, imagine if both of those went.
Well, why are we taking away the Jungle Cruise?
I almost put it on my list.
Would it? Okay, that's offensive. But
I would not put it on my list.
no, no, not at all. Would it have been? Okay, so I considered maybe 40% just to have a hot take, but 60% I actually really truly believe this. I considered putting Tron on my list.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, I can't stand that ride. What an absolute letdown. One of the biggest letdowns of a first-time ride I've ever had.
Wow.
I think that ride, after the first 3 seconds, is one of the most boring rides that they have in Disney World.
That's how I felt about Slinky Dog. But Slinky Dog's a kid's ride, so I didn't put it on. I felt bad putting Slinky Dog on.
I think the best part about Tron is that first, you shoot out into the canopy, and it's really cool, especially at night. But then once you get inside, it's
like a roller coaster. But
it's not even fun.
It's not
just
doing
going-
anything. You're
It's
just
doing
gliding.
nothing. Yeah,
That's
it's lights.
Yeah, I mean,
it took
you're
so long to build and develop and open this ride, and it's just an absolute wet fart of a ride.
Well, I think that gets a bad rap is how long it took. I mean, you had you had a global pandemic in the middle of it, right? Come on, and then you had endangered species nesting in it, and that had to shut it down.
That was pandemic related. So it's all
It's all kind of I don't know. It's a little unfair to judge them based on that, but
Test Track took forever. That ride took 6 years, and there was no pandemic.
Right. Yeah.
Tron is stinky, I think.
Test Track was a new ride system though, and Tron already exists, so
yeah, that is pretty rough.
And Tron just doesn't aesthetically. It looks awesome. It looks so cool, but it doesn't fit at all.
It really pulls you in, and they keep trying to make Tron happen, but it keeps not happening.
Yeah, there's going to be another Tron that comes out.
Didn't one just come out?
And it did horribly.
Did it?
We the people are sick of Jared Leto. No more. No more Jared Leto. Bad.
That's gonna be a TikTok clip right there.
No more Jared Leto.
5 seconds. 5 seconds. We the people are sick of Jared Leto.
It's a 53 on Rotten Tomatoes, but Popcorn Meter has it as an 84.
Free us.
Yeah, I was about to say
Jared
that
Leto.
friend of the podcast and best name ever, Patrick Weathersby, is a big fan of Tron.
Yeah, he's a Tron guy. Also, 84. That's a lot of people liking that movie. 53% of reviewers. So it wasn't reviewed well, but people enjoyed it.
Yeah.
People.
Well, Sean spoke for the people just now. And he said no more Jared Leto. All right. So Tomorrowland Speedway, the worst ride in Walt Disney World. I don't know, guys. Did you feel like you got all of your negative energy out? I feel like I could go another week. I could do this again.
Yeah.
Pick something else. Put on the hater hat.
Yeah, I think we can keep this going. We've got
my hater hat is always on. I just have to.
It feels interesting to try on this negativity thing.
Yeah.
We're too
just for
positive.
a short time. Well, we can't even get JJ to properly be negative.
Yeah, JJ's a little.
Not.
He's a little afraid to lean fully into it. It feels good. It feels good. Dive in.
Okay, guys, we got time for a little game.
I don't know. I think I need to recharge my hater hat.
Okay.
Yeah, too much negativity in one day. We need a week break before we get negative again.
Oh, okay.
So before we leave, just a little reminder that we are having a sweepstakes for a random reviewer. So please go on to Apple Podcasts, review the podcast, and then you could be entered into a drawing for a ReedyGeeks hat, a dad hat, actually. They're pretty cool. And we're doing this once a month, so please go to Apple Podcasts. It is the currency of podcasts, these reviews, and we greatly appreciate it. Be honest, we're giving it to all reviews, not just 5 stars. So, of course, we appreciate a 5-star review, but we understand. We don't appeal to everybody.
They're gonna want a hat though.
So leave us a review. If you like us, we're ReedyGeeks. If you don't like us, we're the Joe Rogan Experience. Sean, want to take us out?
Thanks for listening to another episode of the ReedyGeeks podcast. Like, rate, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Any questions, comments, concerns, future titles, or topic ideas, email us at reedygeeks@gmail.com and check us out on all our socials at ReedyGeeks. We'll see you next time.
Let's cut that.
It's the only thing I'm printing this whole episode. I'm going to stop drinking on weekdays.
That's the honest send-off.
This week's honest send-off comes courtesy of the Geeks. If you have an honest send-off that you want played at the end of one of our episodes, please submit an audio clip to us via our email address, reedygeeks@gmail.com. ReedyGeeks, a Walt Disney World podcast, is hosted and executive produced by Andrew Shopee, Sean Murphy, and JJ Hefner. Music and audio engineering by JJ Hefner.
Bon voyage.